in a mirror and doesn't recognize the expression. Chapter 6, The Last Story. In the end, it wasn't one great battle but 1,000 small betrayals, a door held for a stranger, a ration bartered for a lie, a child left behind because the road outside smelled like hope. Captain Rook, from his towers, ordered a purge. The engines he had once cherished heaped smoke like an offering, and the Spire rolled again, like a beast waking to a plan. They drove toward the city beyond the ring, toward safety they promised themselves. Jonah did not make it out of the lower decks. I still see his grin when the lights flickered, a brief, stupid joy. Mara and I crawled through vents, past the shadows of those who had become different, past the bodies of the men who had clasped their money to their chests rather than hands. At the topmost balcony, where glass met the sky, Captain Rook stood with his hands on the rail, a man who believed he could outrun consequence. He had built his life on a wheel of exclusion. I thought of the child's drawing, of the faint, hopeful smile. I thought of the dead learning to imitate us and wondered if imitation meant inheritance. The last thing I saw of Rook was not his face but his hands, fumbling at a radio he had once used to command the city. Below him, like a tide, the dead moved with purpose, and behind them the Spire rolled toward a horizon that had no use for the distinctions we had worshipped. When dawn came, if it deserved the name, the world smelled of wet iron and old engines. The Spire was a scar on the landscape, and the dead were a new kind of nation. I sat on a broken step and told the story to anyone who would listen. Stories, I had learned, were tools as sharp as any blade. They could summon courage or convict. If you watch closely, you might see it now, small groups of the dead arranging themselves, placing 2 smoldering boards to bridge a gutter, stacking cans like a crude ladder. They are learning to build what we break. They do not appear to fear themselves. They do not appear to hate us. They appear to be very good students. I write this because stories were always how we remind ourselves of who we were. But perhaps the truth I cling to is weaker than the night. Perhaps the real terror is not that the dead will devour us, but that they will keep our architecture and teach our worst lessons back to us, polished and sharpened. And as for me, Elias, I keep telling the tale because to tell it is to stay awake. To stay awake is to try to change what is coming. If you enjoyed this story, please subscribe to the channel, activate notifications, give the video a like, leave a comment with your thoughts, and share the video with others who dare to listen.